Yo, it's Adam. Avalon Auto Off-Road builds on YouTube and Instagram. Avalon Auto, Alpharetta, Georgia. We did a Durobump install today. My video on the camera kept cutting off about halfway through the videos, but we changed the front bump stops and the rear bump stops to the Durobumps. These are the 200 series or Tundra bump stops. The fronts are kind of a pain to get this one off. I went to O'Reilly a while back, the same wrench I used for the GX470 bump stops, about the same, a little bit bigger I think the GX470 bump stops as far as how wide it is, but biggest channel locks you can get. Go ahead and break them free. You got to put a ton of force on it to break it free, lefty-loosey, just normal stuff. Get it loose, take it out, and then to put the Durobump in, I raise the suspension to high. If you don't have your AHC still, just get the tire to where it's not touching the ground, as full droop as you can. I put some blue Loctite on it. The Durobumps bolts do come with some Loctite from the factory, I guess. But I used my Milwaukee ratchet, put the short one in there to get it started and all the way up. And then it gave me enough area to get the long one in there and go all the way up and in. Because even with it on the ground, you can barely fit this one in there. But so there's no room for a wrench. If you get it full droop, you'll have just enough room to get a wrench in there and get it to torque down properly. But pretty significant difference between the little baby OEM one and the Durobump one. The rears are even more of a difference. Now I will say the bolts that come with the rears, it worked. I got the passenger side to tighten in. The driver's side, one of those bolts, because the bolts holes are actually recessed in the frame, so there was not enough room to get this one to bite. I don't know if my first couple threads were crossed or whatever, but it just didn't want to bite. I forget what these bolts came out of. It was another Toyota Lexus project. I've got quite a few of them in here. Luckily, most Toyota Lexus stuff are all the same thread pitch, but these longer bolts I had, they're just a hair longer, and I did clean them and put some new Loctite on them. But I just transferred the washer onto the longer bolt and was able to get that cinched up into place to where I felt good about it. But the Durobumps, let me get you a better view of it. So the OEM bump stop has 3 bolt holes, one on the side, 2 on the frame. These Durobumps are a little over twice as thick. Last time I went riding, I felt everything, even in high, when we did, hit some ruts and such. So I'm hoping these Durobumps soften it up. They look great, material's good. This side threaded in fine. The inner side, closest to the front, is the one I struggled with on both sides. I got that other side in, but I had to push the drill and kind of flex the bump stop in a little bit to get it to bite. But these are your OEM ones. And then the Durobump, again, zoom that out. Can't really see from this angle because my tire's in the way. Sorry for the video quality. I had it all set up with a gimbal all nice and was working, but then it kept cutting out about 2 minutes into each video. So pretty simple install. You got the bolt on the side, 2 to remove. These are 12 millimeters on this one. The front bolts were 14 millimeters. These are all 12s, so pretty simple. Just 1, 2, 3, loosen them up, take these off with a wrench, slap the new ones in. You may need longer bolts on these LXs and 200s. I don't know if the Tundra frames also have recessed bolt holes. But again, this side I was able to push up with the wrench and get it to work. The fronts, the only thing I had to do was jack it up to let the tire hit the ground, or off the ground rather. But thank you Durobumps, new sticker for my window, and let's see how these bump stops do. 200 series LX570.